This is the ESL Pro Tournament, Asia Open Cup. This happens every single week. $100 winner take all for the winner of this best of 5. 10 ESL points for first place and 5 for second. It is a very small amount, and I do believe it should be worth more than it is, but sadly, that's what it is. So spawn here to the top left, looking for some points, but looking for some dollars. We got the Red Terran Cure. And sorry, the sound effects you're hearing, I know, they're in the background. They are tied to an alert that you can't see right now. Bottom right, we have the blue Protoss Hurricane. But RX Damitol has just completed the tutorial, so I would like to gift you a sub as a thank you. Just do me a favor, type something in the chat so I can like kind of 2-click get it done quick. But yeah, for those who don't know, we're not sponsored by it for this, but we are still running our Raid Shadow Legends campaign in the background. And for tonight, I'm offering some people who complete the tutorial a gifted sub on me. You're not our usual crowd, and you're not the people we'll be broadcasting to for the main tournament, but every little bit helps. So if you can give a little bit, I can give some too. And if you would like a sub for free tonight, it's a free-to-play game. It costs you nothing. There's no credit card sign up, no nothing. You just literally download it from our link, !RAID in the chat.
Raid Shadow Legends.
And when you do, sorry, I'll stop doing that meme. When you do, play it for about 5 minutes. You get to this tutorial and it completes, and then we get registered with you. The tutorial is like 2 castle missions and equipping some gear after summoning a waifu. It's really short. So we've already gifted out a few subs. I'm definitely looking to gift out a few more if you guys are willing to sign up. But don't worry about that. Like I said, it's not all important. We're here for the finals. That's all I'll talk about for the finals, I promise. So here we go into said finals. And Hurricane, I guess there was like a little worry Cure might have done something cheesy. All Terrans in Korea. I don't care who you are. I don't care who I'm analyzing a broadcast. You put a barcode in front of me, it's a Terran player in Korea. I'm like, they're going to 2 racks at some point in the series. Or not 2 racks, but proxy racks. Because sometimes it's 1 versus Protoss. But I don't think Cure, I don't think it's on the top of his mind to do, but in the best of 5, he'll need a few more builds. And funny enough, it's actually not Cure who's going to get wild this game, it's Hurricane. And now the Stalker chasing the Reaper out of the base becomes more valuable, because if Hurricane was to reveal that he only had a couple of pylons, well, the timing isn't so bad right now, but there might be a suspicion raised from Cure that there might be something cheesy going on. And in this case, there certainly is. Clevos, thank you for the 62-month resub. But yeah, this is a proxy, well, probably even hiding a Dark Shrine up here. Honestly, hiding a Twilight Council is not that big of a deal. A lot of players end up playing with Blink, and frankly, a lot of Terran players just expect it. But what is going to be oddly suspicious is if Cure goes a little bit more to the left, he'll confirm.
New warrior.
Thank you. He'll confirm that there's nothing here. So what is the tack? There's no way there wouldn't be a Robo or a Twilight Council or something. So he may end up playing defensive blindly around this. I really like the depots being built back already, for these ones might get busted down, but someone else just completed. McDizzle, there you go. I know you've been trying to do this one for a little bit. Thank you, McDizzle, for completing the tutorial. Before the game actually picks up here, I'm going to just quickly go gift these guys their subs. They've certainly earned it. Thank you guys again so much. Quick little, I know I said I'd stop talking about, but we already doubled the prize pool from $500 to $1,000 thanks to people signing up to play. I really want to take that even further, so that's why I am shamelessly bringing it up during an unrelated broadcast. Want to squeeze out every dollar we can from Raid Shadow Legends and turn it into good StarCraft money. Oh my god, am I money laundering? Ugh. Hope it's not legal. For legal reasons though, that was a joke. All right, coming down to the bottom right with those Widow Mines. He still has no idea about what's been going on up here. No idea about the Dark Shrine, no idea about the Twilight Council. And this medevac should get the biggest scout of not seeing anything. No, that looks and sounds really dumb, but the lack of information here is a lot of information. I'm not sure if Cure will scan the natural, but he's seen, no, he walks here with the Widow Mine. He's seen there's nothing here. And this is so absurd because these Widow Mines get out alive. That's a problem. And if he didn't know before, he knows now. DT has hit the main base. Scans for one, misses the other. 1 skin for 1 DT is actually a really good trade for the Protoss. And he's got enough energy for another one. Okay, scans again near the Warp Prism. I kind of like this. Using this to try and buy time to get the missile turned up, but he's bleeding out of units that can fight back with. So even though he burned the scan, he doesn't get the kill. Oh my god. This is really bad for Cure. He's just gonna keep getting slaughtered. This is so bad. One more scan helps clean this up. DTs are pushed off slightly. One more comes in. A little too risky. Almost loses it. And the missile turrets are finishing as we speak. So here's where this hurt him really economically, right? This is where it really kicked him in the dick. Each of those scans could have otherwise been a mule that gathered 250 something minerals, right? So he falls behind by 3. That's nearly, that's not to say he won't get those minerals over time, but he won't have those minerals right freaking now. So he'd have a lot more use to play with, a lot more missile turrets he could afford to make, but instead cost him dearly. This comes back for what appears to be round 2. I think these are the same Widow Mines as earlier. Yeah, without drilling claws, they're picked off fairly easily. 2 Archons made out of the rest. Oh, you know what's sick and gross, and not like sick in a good way. Well, maybe sick for Hurricane is these units don't have stim. I can't actually fight these Archons. Oh my god. Don't style on Cure like this, dude. Cure's one of my favorite Terrans. Hurricane, don't you dare. Okay, you didn't. Thank you, Hurricane. What a nice guy. So loses the Warp Prism, definitely on purpose because I asked him to, right? Loses one of the Archons inside said Warp Prism, but that Viking was clutch. That thing means there's not going to be continued. Well, not to say there won't be continued. There won't be unlimited Warp Prism harassment. Any Warp Prisms will get shut down eventually. This Widow Mine catches the Archon in the middle of the map. What? The footwork out of Cure this game has been so good that I'm actually struggling to keep up. And while I'm really well known for talking off topic, I'm also really well known for showing most of what you need to see on the screen at any given time. So the fact that I'm getting outplayed, I think really should speak leaps and bounds about how much Cure is really all over this map. Maybe not literally with units and presence, but he's looking and he's paying attention. Being able to grab that Archon was huge too. The cost of those, so expensive. So even if you do it through DTs, it's still very expensive. Just less gas expensive, but more mineral expensive. Anyways, it's expensive. I'm starting to say, you know, when you say a word so much, it starts losing its meaning. We're in that territory now, so let's get away from the word expensive. What could be costly to Hurricane is if this Viking gets to land in free fire. It only takes 2 shots to kill probes because for reasons unknown, they do bonus damage to mechanical. So he's going to take some worker harassment while this goes on, but also has to deal with this push. And with the Marauders having not had concussive shells, units will escape here, but concussive shells now done. Means there's not going to be any more running away from Hurricane. Anything that's even the Blink Stalkers, if they get caught, they're caught. And the Zealots are going to be a bit of an issue. They're tanky, they're durable, they're hard to deal with, and no fun allowed when medevac or when the Zealots are in play. But with a couple of Widow Mines out still, they don't even need to kill the Zealots. They just need to hit them once and pop off their shields. Go for that kind of ghetto EMP. All right, shots getting fired. Widow Mines burrowing, and Marauders continue to be the front line they need to be. As said, if it gets caught, it's going to be slowed to death. Big pickup, though, going to the main, and oh no. If Widow Mines go on that ramp, this is going to be an almost impossible position, completely compromised. Stalkers do have to blink around. Zealots come in. Widow Mines fire. Not crazy amazing Widow Mines shots, but not bad either. Softens up a lot of that front line. And Cure most notably gets a lot of his army out of the main base alive, so continues the pressure, swapping up now with the Marauders. Another one! Thank you, whoever that was. We'll get you in a sec. Can't afford to dab out right now. This is too much crazy. Widow Mines popping off. Oh, that was not so impressive. Not so good. But is DT's back in the main base? No, it's Zealots back in the main base. Units warped in up there do require the reinforcements to take a quick pit stop, so that's why we don't see anything reinforcing these front lines. These boys have sadly been abandoned. It's like Mexican, these are Kerrigan, and it just sucks, man. And of course, Zealots move so fast naturally with that speed, they have no problem keeping up with these, and every time charge comes off cooldown, just gonna bridge that gap, or not. Just, okay, just swerve. Okay then, whatever. But so much has happened before the 10-minute mark of this game, I kind of forgot how early it was still in this game. So coming up on 10 minutes, both players barely have 3 bases. This is all kinds of good. This is the finals I'm looking forward to most, for sure. Me Angie has completed the tutorial, and I don't know who you are in the chat, and I'm not going to pretend like I care. Fuck you. DT comes down here. There's a scan available, but he doesn't want to be out of position because he knows the army's right here too, so he's just gonna have to suck it up and pull SCVs or lose them. Okay, it goes for the scan, but that did do exactly what I thought it would do and put him out of position, especially with these force fields here. Natural base is getting a little spicy as well. These engineering bases never got 2-2 going. He's humming around right now 1-1, so losing those upgrade centers could be devastating. Same with the armory, frankly. The armory was never used to make drilling claws, for example, which would be really beneficial right now, but that force field might hurt more than help. Actually, it pushes the Marines back, but also keeps the Zealots from charging in. Command Center is getting a little bit low. SCVs are pulled. I think we're getting fed up with it, and so is Cure. So he's going for broke on this one. He wants to win this fight, not trade out a little bit. But he's losing on a lot of SCVs already. If Cure does not decisively win this battle, it's game over. And I don't think he's decisively win. This is so wild. The cost efficiency of Blink Stalkers here really matching the cost efficiency of healing from Medivacs, but overwhelming power.
Power overwhelming.
Cheat codes enabled. GG. Hurricane takes map number 1. Game number 2, best of 5, and yep, there's that aggressive Korean I was talking about in game 1. Now he's coming here for game 2. A little bit of payback. It's the Red Terran player Cure, with his opponent to the upper right, the Blue Protoss Hurricane, up 1-0 in the series. SCV pokes forward to put down some barracks in proximity to the other base. Also, I just want to update real quick of the remaining free subs. I have 2 more free subs I'd like to gift out to the chat. You guys know what to do. I'll leave it to you. But these 2 barracks come down just not only in time, but in a position that Hurricane will barely not see. That's tough. Oh, thank you to Big Dad _E Riff. Oh, damn it. No. Read them ahead of time, Rifkin. Say it in your head before you say it out loud. He wants attention. That's why he's doing it. They just want you to accept that you're daddy and I'm not daddy. So, nope. We know he's going to be the big daddy. Maybe Cure? This gets scouted. It's no longer a question of what's going on. It's a question of where and when. Now, with the style Hurricane's built, he's done this in a way that's meant to block out Reapers. So no Reapers will hop up to the main base. But that's not the plan for this one. This was Marines. Fartback says, there's an observer named Chicken Man. Who's Chicken Man? Chicken Man is a good friend of the channel, and we've linked and hosted to his stream many times before. So I will not do it again. Fuck that guy, dude. Are you kidding me? Stay on my channel. No. Chicken Man's up on the Team Liquid sidebar. We love him to death. He's a weirdo, and he's one of my favorite weirdos. And he actually took an emote I drew for him sarcastically and used it as a real thing. So, you know, he's got my respect. He does what I don't do, though. He covers like every ESL Cup every weekend, by the way. He'll do like Korea into Europe and North America. The guy's got more passion than me and Wardy combined, okay? So if you want to check his channel out, he's very chill. I definitely recommend checking him out. Might not be everyone's flavor, but I like him. Anyways, let's oh, Curious doing some bad miss micro there, greedy for the Zealot. He only really needed to lose maybe 1 Marine there. Losing 2 might not seem like that big of a deal. Like, Rifkin, you're really making a mountain out of a molehill. And I'll be like, dude, where'd you get that analogy? Fucking 1995? Go back, Dad. You weren't there for me there. I don't need you there for me now. But losing that 2nd Marine is the difference of that Stalker living or dying. Honestly, straight up. And you see him trying so hard to get back in here before it starts regenerating shields. Nice flick of the gun there. Gauss rifle set to stun. Not because it killed the Stalker, it was set to stun, kill for the Stalker. It was set to stun for us because that was stunning. Stunning display of micro. The problem is, though, in every way possible, Stalkers are better than Marines. They have more range, they're faster. If you micro it perfectly, you'll pretty much never take any damage from a Marine. But I think Hurricane knows this attack is over. He got pretty weak and limp at the end. So, very confidently pushes out, pushes off the barracks, sees them going home. And Cure did build a factory. There's 2 barracks on the way, means he's probably going to stick to bio. And most notably, he has a 2nd command center on the way. It's just coming down the top of the ramp. So it'll wall things off, but also not get canceled over and over and over. Hey, Mr. Boris Makarov. I always miss you, man. And I always say I hope you're doing well. So I won't do either of those things because every time I do, you don't come back. So how about this one? Mr. Boris Makarov, I don't miss you and I hate you. And you definitely should never ever come back. Because I don't really miss you and it's not like you were my friend I've seen at many dream hacks or anything, okay? So just stay away. Okay, it's better for both of us if you... I'm sorry, guys. It's just a lot of emotions tonight. person got kicked out of that lobby. And then we brought up my daddy issues. I brought up my daddy issues. You guys didn't. I just... Then Mr. Boris comes around. I just displayed my unholy acting talent. You thought I was crying. I wasn't. It was acting. But okay, in all seriousness and less goofiness, we do have some cool things developing as Cure is going for Banshees by the looks of it. I thought this tech lab was just gonna be for the barracks, but he's actually swapping the barracks over here to use for a reactor. I'm hoping his Banshees a little bit. Nah, damn. Because if you've been watching some Korean Terran, we've actually been seeing Banshees be a big part of this matchup. But satisfied with more Widowmine drops. I mean, it didn't work out so great in game one, but also Hurricane was doing his own proxy, and that game was hardly standard. We're really going to see how Cure's going to handle this guy playing a bit more standard. Ah. Oh. Ah, there's detection, dear Cure. He's aware of it now too. So the medevac's going to chill in the back. Threat of this medevac can sometimes be just as good. Oh, as the damage it gets. Because he's going to have to pretty much... Hurricane will have to leave like 4 stalkers-ish on standby for a significant amount of time, just for fear of the medevac coming back into the base. So this stops Hurricane from being active on the map. This gives Cure the freedom to get his natural base set up, but also get caught up with all that tech and reactors, because with those barracks flying home, it took a long time to get here. Also witnessing a little bit of a supply block there. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen though, okay? Because pro players don't get supply blocked, all right? It's only us normies who get supply blocked, okay? Never happens. Not to my guy, not to Cure. He's too good. Yeah, see, no supply block. You guys are crazy. Who said anything about a supply block? Skull Confetti says, glad I followed. I've never seen 3 words that somebody will regret more in my life. But thank you while we're in the honeymoon phase. Fruits are good. Thank you for the Reza. Whoopsie daisy. And speaking of slipping, Bay caught me slipping. Mr. Boris Makarov. Didn't I tell you to get out of here? Go on. Get. Thank you for the 70 months, man. Ooh. Okay, a little bit more than that. All right. For the dear YouTube audience who are not here on Twitch, you won't be aware, but Mr. Boris Makarov has just dumped 20 some odd subscribers into the Twitch chat. To give you some context, that's closer to $100. That's a lot of money. A lot of generosity. And a lot of fucking losers who dodged the sub train. Am I right, guys? Mr. Boris, I got nothing other than thanks, man. Big gratitudes. It's 2 bases for now, but not all in. 3 base is 3rd one's on the way. You know, I'm going to mute that. I'll read all these names out in a moment, but we're starting to hit some very important points in this game. These Widowmines are going to get juked out by the blinks, as expected, so not that effective. But 3 medevacs hoping to free the 1. Nope. Looks like Hurricane hasn't budged yet. He certainly hasn't forgotten about this, as there's been an observer on it the entire time. That is, to be clear, 5 units out of Hurricane's army, 4 stalkers and an observer dedicated to this 1 medevac and 2 Widowmines. That's fantastic. That's just as good as getting kills, honestly. Even better when they eventually give up and then the Widowmines go in and kill the probes. But scans the main, hits the 3rd, double attacks coming from multiple locations. Cure should not commit to this, and he just has to make sure he doesn't get too over-dedicated. He kind of loses the bottom fight because of this. He's going to lose part of the top fight because of this. In fact, there's no exit strategy as the medevacs were taken down. Kills the pylon and unpowers some gateways. Feels a little good, but this was, at best, cosmetic damage. This, frankly, was bad. Yeah, so bad that it's the end of the game. GG. Hurricane will take a 2-0, but it's not over yet, dear audience, because there's game number 3 still to be had. Let's get back into the series. It's game... Whoops. It's game sound disabled. It's game number 3. A best of 5 is important to note because this means it is finally Cure's last life. If he wins, great. We continue on with the series. If he loses, then Hurricane wins 3-0, and that's an easy $100 for Hurricane. But he's had to defend cheese. He's tried his own cheese, and none of these proxies are working out for him. In the top right is Cure. And in the bottom left, the blue Protoss dominating right now. It's Hurricane. But how's this possible? Because from what I've been reading through probably well-deserved balance wine, I'm sorry about that. I totally forgot to show you guys the loot. My bad. How foolish. There you go. Anyways, from what I've been reading from pro players, I'll have you know that it's impossible to beat Terran, especially Zerg, but also Protoss. So this is an impossibility. In fact, we must have just been witnessing the game incorrectly the entire time. So let me go fix the score, because it's probably like 9-0, especially if Rainer is watching. That's probably what the score looks like. Actually, that's what I love. Okay, look. Watch the bottom left for a second. This is what the score looks like to any one of you who are watching this and have been seeing the score. But to all pro players, this is what the score looks like. Happens to the best of us. Without too much happening special for the early game, it's kind of a good thing because Cure, like I said, game 1, he got proxied. Bit of a surprise. Game 2, did the proxy. Didn't work out so hot for him. I hope to see something a little bit more standard, but what I have regretted seeing so far is the Widowmine drops have not really been that effective for him. A lot of the times, they won't get a lot of probe kills, right? There's that one game in like 100 where we get so hyped, like, oh my god, he killed 19 probes, it's game over. Bow, 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 bow. But no, that's the statistical anomaly. Realistically, what ends up happening a lot.
Incoming.
God damn it, the alerts. I can't turn them off even though I'm not using them. The Widowmines usually at least get scouting, a little bit of damage. And unfortunately, with Cure getting holed up in the corners of the map, he's not getting scouting. With the Widowmines not going off, he's not getting damage. So I am a big fan of the Widowmine opener. I think it's probably one of the best ways to get scouting on Protoss and deal damage at the same time. But they've just not worked for him so far. Maybe in a normal game, but definitely not so far. To a degree, I would even like. I don't think Cure's cocky. I don't think he's a cocky player by nature, but it doesn't feel like he's taking Hurricane as like this crazy threatening opponent. Or maybe he's just having a lapse in TvP. I can't really describe it, but this doesn't feel like the Cure I expected to see in the finals, if that makes sense. Still putting up a good fight though, regardless. Some people just completed the tutorial. Thank you to Xeno1986. And in fact, I already see you type it in the chat. Let me hit you up with a sub, dude. Sorry, for those who weren't caught up, we were gifting subs to people who helped us with our sponsor quests. Oh, and is that another? Why would there be a giant sword sound if there wasn't another? Starport Onisan. Thank you, Starport Onisan, for being so uwu and completing the tutorial. All right, there's been a little bit of dancing, but it's a different build entirely. With Hellions coming in to blitz, I think the plan was to get these up on the main base. However, only 2 Hellions. This is actually bad. I don't like this. It takes 3 shots from a Hellion to blast down those probes. 2 Hellions don't cut it. Now, as he brings the 3rd one in, it does draw the Stalkers out of position, and then he goes in with Widowmines. So, like, it's damage. It's more damage than he's gotten previously. And in fact, the units in the main base get more damage than the Widowmines do in the natural, which is, well, ends up even now too. But all in all, this got a lot more done than Cure's had in the past. So we're going to count this as progress. It's weird to be like this kind of condescending to a pro player, and I'm not trying to be. But just the first 2 games have not worked out for him. So I'm liking that this looks a little bit better now. The Raven comes out. This is good for a couple reasons. Obviously, detection's a big thing. Not necessarily for GTs, but there's oftentimes an observer just floating in your main base because it can. This will provide that detection without needing to burn scans, but also at any point the army engages, anti-armor, auto turrets, and even to a lesser degree, we rarely see it, but interference matrix, all are going to be excellent skills to have at his disposal. Please, Blizzard, don't nerf Protoss if Hurricane wins. I feel bad for Protoss. If you are a fan of Rotterdam, you've definitely heard, if not through his casting, through his own Twitch channel, he often talks about how Protoss haven't won anything major in a long time. And I kind of wrote it off as a meme, but it's true. Someone even came out with a stat sheet on this recently. I saw on Reddit the other day. So I kind of feel like Hurricane if he gets the win here, it's definitely deserved, but I don't think it's going to result in any nerfs anytime soon. Because if anything needs to be touched right now, it's definitely Zerg. Wow, he gets a sub and Factory Chan doesn't? Yes, because this Factory Chan's not a person. Factory Chan's a troll, man. Cast the game. Cast the game. Just cast the game. We're on it. More zealots unloading the main base. Warp person is going to deployment. Warps in for some more zealots. SCVs are pulled immediately, and Marauders fire upon the first wave of zealots, but the second one's playing through the bottom side of this. So unfortunately for the Marines, they do get cut up from the backside. A lot of SCVs give their lives to keep the Marauders alive, but the Marauders alive are not going to be enough to win this game, and much less this battle. And if he can push up the War person, that'd be great, but he's got no anti-air left because all the Marines died to those zealots. Only Marauders remain, and the War person picks up, flies away, and 20 SCVs end up dying to this. And while this goes on, there's some positioning on the other side of the map, and Cure does have that Raven up on the front line. Interference measures, anti-armor, a lot of very dangerous things happening here, but one thing's for sure, Hurricane's in position to take this fight. One other thing's for sure, Hurricane's down a supply. Not looking very good right now as the interference matrix does take that Immortal out of the fight. No blasting those Marauders. They instead blast the Marauders onto the Immortal. Synergy's put up those Guardian Shields, and Stalkers get warped in here with a couple of Zealots on the side. Still, shield batteries will not be enough to take two. These +1 weapons, not for the Marauders, maybe for the Marines, not for the Marauders. Falls back, falls into the job. More Stalkers whopping for the backside. Ravens picked off. That Immortal's about to spawn anytime soon. This medevac comes over the wind mines. Did not go for the worker line. They're going for the front lines. Marauders go through that crack, and if these Stalkers chase forward, those wind mines are going to go off. They end up friendly firing one of the medevacs, and the Stalkers, no, they don't kill it. The wind mines do. To continue your daily access to casting, please consider paying $4.99 a month to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Your free trial ends now. Rifkin will cast at least 10% of the matches every guarantee. Yeah, to be clear, anyone tuning in, because I know some of you guys aren't, regulars on the channel. This channel is more about casting and chilling. Not even casting, field reporting, and just chilling out, enjoying the games. I like to think I do a pretty good job bringing it back when things matter, but if you are somebody who needs to hear that the Marauders are moving from the northwest position down to the southwest position while simultaneously accessing it on a 60-degree angle down that ramp, then fuck off. It's not for you. All right, what do I do? Plant themselves. This isn't. This is just too much. There's a numbers game here on the front lines. I think the Marauders, if they chew through the Zealots, Marauders can win this fight against the Stalkers. But having to lift the command center is already not a good sign. Not many SCVs here to transfer over, and already having lost a lot in this game, he really has to win this battle hard to recover. Because economically, Hurricane has just been destroying it. Like almost 400, at some points 500 minerals more per minute than Cure. That's where all these warpins are coming in. That's where it's been trading a little bit cost inefficiently, but still somehow trading out even-ish. Especially when you consider what the army supplies have looked out for a lot of this. Or Widow Mines. Not many Zealots to worry about. This is an easy hold. Stalkers alone are kind of like laughable. The strength difference is wild to me. But the Zealots of the main base to pick off a missile turret, the War Prism almost dies. Oh my god. That thing is on its last legs for sure. If they had legs. Widow Mine gets juked out by the Stalkers, but that puts Blink on cooldown, so that's where Concussive Shells is really nice. Picks off one of the Stalkers. But this isn't good enough for Kira. Even though he's catching up in SCVs, his army supplies remain really good. This game's going to that next step. Storms have not been a problem for him yet. So he doesn't have ghosts available. He doesn't have EMPs researched. In fact, he's getting a Ghost Academy as we speak. But until those EMPs are ready, storms are going to be a real problem for him. I mean, Marauders can take a hit way better than Marines, right? Marauders can bathe in the storm all fucking day for all we care. That's not the point of this, though, because it's still going to come down to these Zealots. So, Storms hit, Army soft, Zealots charge, execute. Whereas if you have EMPs, the Zealots can't do that. I love this bunker, though. We've been seeing this become a little bit more common amongst European players. I haven't really seen too many Koreans doing it, but that is a real nice set it and forget it bunker. Oh, look at these dodges, though. He splits against the Storms so well. A lot of his very weak units survived the first wave of Storms. The, frankly, Templar are all gone, and there's still the Widow Mines alive. Usually it's the most squishy units that suffer from this. The fact that he was able to split and keep a lot of this alive is so impressive. Super impressive. He's up 30-something army supply. He hasn't won the game yet, but he's starting to look pretty good with the army. As the Zealots charge forward, they are getting too far away from the Stalkers, so they're not getting support fire either. And oh, enhanced shockwaves is on the way. This upgrade, which some of you are probably still unfamiliar with, this is the Ghost EMP upgrade that increases the radius by 0.5. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It is a lot. It's a lot easier to land the EMPs on the Templar that are stuck in the back. You're more likely to hit more of the Zealots clustered in the front, etc., etc. But waiting right out here, the fourth base, up for contest. If you can't hold this off, the Zealots have popped off immediately, and the fight's barely even begun. Medevacs are pretty much out of juice, though. Look, there's a lot of medevacs here, but they got nothing left in the canister, so these storms are finally going to do the damage they need to do. But not before Cure trades out, because again, he's taking us down the mini. Like, look at the money game right now. Resources lost, not exactly crazy one-sided, but the income advantage that Hurricane earlier has just, it's been gone for a while. This fourth base isn't set up. Mules are going. Fourth is coming on the way for Cure. To be honest with you guys, I kind of was like worried like about 2.5 minutes ago when I was sarcastically casting that this would be over very soon. I'm glad to see that it's not yet. EMPs hit that front line, by the way, pop the barriers on the Immortals. Really effective here against Archons, but ooh, the Widowmine takes out the Warp Prism. Look, there's not a lot left on the ground for either player. This is getting down to the wire, but remember, through all of this, Cure got his economy back up. For Cure, a lot of this aggression was playing catch up, as funny as that is to sound. So he'll be transferring over SCVs. He'll be taking these new bases. Hurricane, base still stands, granted. So we'll see the income kind of normalize a bit here. But I think the types of units that Cure is left with are a lot better than the types of units Hurricane has. There's no big boy Colossus. There's no air support coming out. It's just Templar and Gateway units. And Templar can do well to an extent, but as we've been witnessing, Gateway units, not so good against Bio. And in fact, you have to consider the Ghosts here. Bonus 24 damage. Help pick off those Zealots on the front line. Like 2 shots from the Ghost, no shields. Sup Froshen, thank you for the 34 months. I'm sorry the alerts are kind of borked, but I appreciate you. See you there. Thank you very much. Feedback goes into the medevacs, so an EMP still manages to launch itself here. Storms go down, and that's where the EMPs on the medevacs are actually, or not EMPs, the feedback on the medevacs aren't too bad. Making it more difficult to heal up these units, but man, there was in the past a lot of back attacks going on. Hurricanes had no freedom, no army supply to send out on the map and, you know, warp Zealots into the main base, for example. Cure, on the other hand, he's gonna have to deal with disruptors soon. Something that nobody wants to deal with without Liberator support. So we should have to see that next arc of tech come into play soon, but at least we know he'll have the money to do it. He's taking another command center as we speak. I still can't believe Cure managed to bring this back to this position. I was really worried he'd be behind for enough to lose this game. And he still could lose this game, but I'm just loving what we're seeing a lot more now than what we had earlier. EMP hits, Zealots are squishy, Marauder's still not so good, but the Ghost is, and that's where that damage, that big damage comes from. I gotta give it to the Ghosts. They're getting really good EMPs, but they're just like, for the example, these Immortals, how many times have these been EMP'd, right? Like, he needs to get killing blows. Vikings pick off the Warp Prism when they land on the ground to help a little bit, but they just soak some damage. The Bio on that ramp, though, doesn't get surrounded, so the Zealots don't have their damage. They walk into the Disruptor shot. Oh my god, splits. We're so sick in the last second. Now keep in mind, if the Disruptor dies, the shot will not detonate for damage, but it's not exactly diving in with the Marauders to focus them down, which is a very dangerous move, but you'll see Pro Terrans do all the time. My fear is that this base for Hurricane is more important than anything else right now, because he's the one who's starting to run out of cash. It's why he's never got his supply maxed out while Cure maintains these army leads. It's scrappy as hell, but it's, look, oh god, look at that missed shot. That's it. Hurricane's panicked. He's been mentally broken. He's been literally broken. The Marines and Marauders are too much at this point. GG. The series will not end here. We are going to get a game number 4. It's game 4 in the finals. Spawning here to the top left. He has started to bring it back, but he still has a long road ahead of him. because he's still on his last life. In the bottom, oh damn it, in the top left, it's Cure. And in the bottom right, sitting up 2-1 and looking fantastic, it's Hurricane. Oh, Qui-Gon Twitch. That is a very lewd emote combo. I think if anyone saw, would probably think it's just random, but I can see exactly what you're doing. Okay, sir, and I'll have you know this is not that kind of stream. Probe gets a very free scout on the Terran, as you would expect. I think this is actually a pretty valuable scout too, because there is the worry. Cure has already shown a proxy barracks once in the series that he may do it again. Is this game for all the bucks? No, no, no. So it is, well, it is actually in a way. It's $100 winner take all. But that's only the situation for Hurricane right now. If Cure wins this game, then yes, all the marbles are on the table. And maybe we'll restart the stream and do some marbles after we're done. I'm kind of feeling spry right now, but I digress. The point is, Hurricane, Cure, this one still matters a lot, even though for Cure he still has to win one more. Imagine being able to get world bosses. Dude, we get most of the world bosses as Alliance. Actually, Dares, are you still on Faralina? Because man, so much drama. All these guilds are dying right now. It's fantastic and hilarious to watch from the sidelines. Can Kazakh still be cutting cap? I'll say no. So unfortunately with WoW Classic, they went and changed a lot of the stuff you could harass with. Like there's the great blood disease of Hakar that people trolled with, and Blizzard's like, yeah, no, we're not gonna let you take that out of the instance anymore, so we don't create another. Oh my god, we had fucking COVID-19 in World of Warcraft way before we had in real life. I just realized the prophecy, it was foretold. Why do you want a Bane impression so bad? You're making it weird, dude. I need to ask you to chill, because now that you've asked me about it, I've continued to not report in on the Reaper leaving the main base, going for a scout, and somebody out there is really upset that I'm not casting the game. So everyone just at McDizzle for life and shame him, because he's ruining everything. This was a really nice catch for the Hellion, by the way. I don't know if there's plans to put anything next to it other than have it be a forward warp in, because actually things have gotten pretty aggressive, as you can see. Hurricane's up here on the other side of the field. These two units should never catch this Hellion, though. There's no reason this Hellion should die. Warp ins are going to be a problem under most circumstances, but rather than panically putting a bunker down now, Cure already has a bunker down. Hurricane knows about this, though, and is still continuing with the attack, so my thoughts are he wants to play around the bunker. Like, for example, transfer through and sit on the back line and deny some mining or something. It appears to be that might just be the case. There's not really enough Marines to take a comfortable fight here. It would be a little iffy. SCVs would have to be pulled, I think, to secure it. But as long as the bunker's up at the front, ooh, and the depots are raised, there's no real option for Hurricane to get in. So Cure just has to be patient and calm, and this is a very light, annoying attack, not something he has to really worry about. $100, really? I'm not sure if you guys are asking in a good or a bad way, but yeah, every single weekend there are 3 cups back to back to back with ESL. Each one has a $100 prize pool, winner take all. It's not crazy a lot of money for a once-off weekend cup, and that's why they really like amplified it with those ESL points. I really think these weekly cups are quite worthwhile, frankly. Like, let's say you win this, you feel good. I guess if you lose, it feels bad. But because it's single elimination and not like a 2-day event, it's not like you're losing a bunch of time as a pro player or missing out on practice. Like, it's a single elimination. Show up for it. Other good players will show up for it. You'll get some really good practice in there. There's more value to it than just the prize pool. Anyways, third base was set up quite some time ago for Hurricane. It's now finished warping in. Don't expand me, bro! looks like a stupid dinosaur. Like there's the horn and the two eyeballs and a nose. I don't know. Okay, look, it's late. It's just coming up at 2 a.m. Forget what I'm saying. A lot of what I'm saying is just nonsense, garbage. Which I guess one could argue is most of the time, in which case, let me just get ahead of that one and say, F you, dude, okay? I am thinking this is getting to be a little concerning because it's not a 2-base all-in out of Cure. Oh, looks like Widowmice. No, auto turrets go in. I was going to remark that it's not a 2-base all-in out of Cure. He does have a third CC on the way, but having let Hurricane get away with a third so much earlier and mostly uncontested, opposed to just now, I think Hurricane's just had probably a lot more money. Although, no, I'm totally wrong. I am totally wrong. Okay. Well, here's where this also gets awkward. Those two medevacs just upped and left the base. There's a big attack coming right outside the front door. And Cure's got a lot of his army not at home. Now there's a pause, a pregnant pause. And if Hurricane waits to go in, if he waits to commit to the attack, then these two medevacs very well may be able to force a recall and bring everything back home. But that timing is disappearing very quickly and those medevacs are not moving fast enough. Oh, by the way, Backstabber, if you're still here, thank you very much for the resub earlier. I don't think I shouted that out. That was my bad. I saw it, but we were busy fighting, maybe? All right, this is really good. The rest of the army moves out. A little awkward because they're going to get caught. This, instead of forcing a recall, is going to pounce on the reinforcements. But that also means a dead nexus for Hurricane, and Cure's army could kite for a bit here. Two Widowmines pop off on most of these Zealots. With the shield's gone, they fall down pretty quickly thereafter. In fact, he turns around and wins it. Oh my god, is this just game? No, okay, he did recall units back home. I was like, wait a minute, where'd that army go? Did he really kill all the army in the second we looked away? No. Okay, half the army was recalled home and stops this from getting too out of hand. It did kill 11 workers though, which was pretty scary. And Hurricane lost most of his front line. He had a really good army supply, past tense. But if we take a quick look here, I suspect, yep, it plummeted. Papa bitch! Thank you for the 74 months. That's a 7-4, by the way. That's crazy. Thank you for being around for so long. Stick it to me to thick and thin, bro. Appreciate it. Uh-oh. Looks like Hurricane has blinked into a Widowmine. Not a good start for the fight. Juked one, only to get tricked by the other. With all the Marines here in a quick response, a couple of SCVs have died to these Zealots, but this should be taken care of with relative ease. Cures up a lot of workers. He can lose a few SCVs before this becomes a problem. While this went on, it looks like the auto turrets from the Ravens went back. Orphans were sent at home, so they're not used on the front lines. And Stalkers, as cost efficient as they're being with their blink, have run out of steam. Hurricane's been crushed.
That's all she wrote, folks.
GG. But we have to hop into this last game. Now, someone asked last game. I'm going to bring it up again. This one is for all the money. This one is for everything. So, spawning here to the top central location. The final time tonight, it will be our Korean Terran, the Red Cure. And to the middle right, we have the blue Protoss. It's Hurricane. Frankly, this was a really good series. I really enjoyed the finals. And I know I got a little off topic in the middle, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. Because I do find a lot of TVPs are pretty not, in fact, back and forth, but one-sided. The fact that this one's gone all the way to game 5 is awesome, but the fact that it ends on purity and industry,
Well, that's just the best.
So this map has an island base that no pro player has ever in their right mind thought about taking. But the rest of us have. I'm not sure what the game plan will be, but this is going to be a fun map for a couple different reasons. For those unfamiliar, these red circles all over the place are not just for decoration. They do very actually slow any air units flying through them. So while it's close by air spawns, it's actually quite far because it takes quite long to get through the map. suggestions for missile turret placement. Posh, dude. They go with the mineral line. Yeah, the map's actually been a lot of fun. A lot of people have picked this for our holdout challenges that we've done. And oh, quick little self-advertisement, by the way. On May 9th, we have to go lock down the time. I'm not sure when just yet, but May 9th, we're having TLO come on for our next holdout challenge. So that's the event we do where we have you noobs play against the pro and see how long you can survive for. And whoever survives the longest gets prizes, yada, 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 yada. So for TLO, I think that one's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will show up for it. The reverse sweep, possibly. Look, I really like what Kier's done in these last couple of games, and a lot of it for me has to do with his army movement. I think games 1 and 2 he tried to be gimmicky. Honestly, he did, and it just didn't work out, and it makes sense that it didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what the proxy racks plan was. But the last two, we've getting to see a little bit more macro. We're seeing it be more about the army and less about silly things. So double medevac drops, pulling the Protoss player out of position from defense. These are all moves that are just, they seem so basic, but are very easily forgotten in the heat of battle. Oh, he's not actually on the smoke. Oh, this could catch this. Okay, whatever. Awkward. Me angry. Why are you angry, Qui-Gon Twitch? Is it because there's not more games? Is it because there's not a best of 7? If which is the case, I agree. Oh, Phoenix heading out. Phoenix could help a little bit, but this isn't a Widowmine drop, so it's not going to have anything to scoop up. In fact, a Phoenix might be one of the worst things he could have for this at the moment, because what could pick away the medevac. Oh, there's 6 Marines inside of it. And 6 Marines without support struggle against the depth. 6 Marines with this medevac? Oh, this will kill. It'll also distract because 3 Hellions wait to run in, but oh, 2 Adepts were left at the gate. This means that the defense in the main is a lot weaker, but it also means the Hellions don't get to run in and kill 12 probes. So, you know, not bad. I also want to remark on the target fire out of Kier while this goes on. He wasn't just stutter stepping away. He ends up with target fire from those Marines, killing. Oh, gets the 9th one at the end too. So sick. Now this doesn't win him the game, but it does catch things up. So now the worker count is not super one-sided. The income should bounce a little bit back because mules are pretty good. And with 2 bases nearly completed, Cure is no longer, I don't want to say behind. That's not like the right way to put it, but no longer behind. I mean, this could have, should have, would have been devastating. If those 2 Adepts were not at the door, or more importantly, not on hold position, those Hellions would have run in, and instead of only 8 probes lost, it would have been much closer to like 12 or 13, or maybe even 15. Sometimes it depends on how good the Hellions are. Meanwhile, these Phoenix continue to be a nuisance on the other side of the field. It is really weird to see him build along the edge like this. I guess there's not really a good chance there'll be Void Rays or anything, so it's sort of safe to do this. Just wild to see. Viking outside the slow field, gonna have a wonderful time shooting units inside of it. The slow is by 35%, and that applies to everything. So if you watch a battlecruiser, which is already naturally very slow, fly through this, it is painful. Oh my god, the TLO holdout will be fantastic. Yeah, in Cyber Excel, I've actually talked to TLO. We might have a couple of extra things for that day too, but I don't want to spoil anything and give too much away, okay? So be excited because TLO is going to, I think, have a really fun holdout challenge for you guys to fight it against. Stim and combat shields on the way. Pretty good timing too. Needing to make Vikings, I don't think it's anything anyone really wants to do, but getting this out in the field, it can always fly around and end up harassing the probes, and that's exactly where it's rallied to. Hellions come in for round 2, same Hellions from earlier, so they're very badly injured and they don't have the opportunity to squeeze in here. They've scouted the 3rd though, and oh, they're trying so hard to dodge, but they're gonna die to the Phoenix if nothing else. I guess at least in this way, he forces the Phoenix to waste energy and waste the force field too, so better than nothing, I suppose. I bought the Musketeer skin and was not here to hear your response. Oh, maybe I didn't even see it, dude. Qui-Gon Twitch, I hope you enjoy your, for legal reasons, not a Marine skin. Thank you for purchasing your Stream Raider skin. How many raid signups to get a new best of 69? 800. Not happening. I don't want to do it. Best of 69 is still the worst thing. I have cast, you know what, there's not a lot I can say, right? A lot of casts, they've done the pro events, they've been Hybrid Blizzard, they've done better things than I have, but none of them can say that they've cast as many professional best of 69s as I have, much less to as many viewers as I have. And that is not an achievement worth bragging over. That's like being the tallest short kid, right? Like, who cares? I care, okay? Because I'm the tallest short kid. I've cast the most best of 69s. 2 of these medevacs would normally be devastating, but is Phoenix actually on the way to intercept? They might not even get to unload. Oh, they're on patrol though. Oh no, he's a shift commanded, so he's not going to see the medevacs. These guys get a base kill. That's like a freebie third, and these medevacs will unload in the main. Looks like they won't get to stay around for too long, and a Widowmine almost gets a triple kill. Wait a minute, this is going to be devastating to the probes. Oh, that's it. He just taps out. Not with a bang, but what a whip! And Cure does pull off the reverse sweep. All right, I gotta be careful. I gotta be quiet. So, bravo. It's 2 a.m. Bravo, bravo. Cure, good to see. Good shit, man. Hell yeah.